All right, folks, this is Harris Sultan. I know I've said that Anthony Albanese is the worst prime minister in Australia's history. And don't get me wrong, he still remains the worst prime minister in Australian history. But as far as our democratic countries go, especially the Anglosphere countries, Keir Starmer is by far the worst leader we have at this moment. He is an absolute embarrassment. And I think the great people of the United Kingdom do not deserve this. He is an absolute embarrassment. He got in office because the people were sick and tired and angry and frustrated with the 14 years of the Tories government. He is an absolute embarrassment, and now he's refusing to resign. He's destroying our centuries-long alliances that were forged in blood just to appease one crowd, which he still stupidly believes will vote for him. Let me show you what I mean. So when this US and Israel war on the Islamic regime started, this is what he said. Have a listen.
Earlier this morning, the United States and Israel struck targets in Iran. So whilst the situation is evolving very quickly, I want to set out
our response. Check out his response.
The United Kingdom played no role in these strikes.
The United Kingdom played no role in these strikes. In fact, in order to appease the angry Muslim population inside of the Islamic Republic of the United Kingdom, we even refused our age-old ally, the United States, access to our bases. So please don't attack us. We're the good guys. We're on your side. Okay, we're just sitting out. Please don't bomb us. And he, of all people, should understand the cost of appeasement. It just never works. The brutal Islamic regime of Iran, they still bombed a British airbase in Cyprus. And then what he said.
Yesterday, I spoke to you about the situation in the Gulf and explained that the United Kingdom was not involved in the strikes on Iran. That remains the case. Yesterday, Iran hit a military base in Bahrain, narrowly missing British personnel. But Iran is striking British interests nonetheless and putting British people at huge risk, along with our allies across the region.
And then he said, oh, now the United States can have access to our bases in order to launch attacks on Iran, but we will still remain defensive. We're not going to attack.
The United States has requested permission to use British bases for that specific and limited defensive purpose. We have taken the decision to accept this request.
So he is still on his knees, begging the dying Islamic regime not to attack us. Well, have a look at the response from Donald Trump.
And I'm not, by the way, I'm not happy with the UK either.
Do you blame him? I don't blame him.
That island that you read about, the lease, okay, he made it for whatever reason, he made a lease of the island. Somebody came and took it away from him. And it's taken 3-4 days for us to work out where we can land there. It would have been much more convenient landing there as opposed to flying many extra hours. So we are very surprised. This is not Winston Churchill that we're dealing with.
This is not Winston Churchill. Far from it. It's the exact opposite. He's an embarrassment. As if it wasn't enough. Yesterday, he held an Iftar party and gathered up all his influential Muslims to get down on his knees again and tell them that, hey, look, we did not play any role in striking Iran. This is so embarrassing. This man does not deserve to represent the great people of the United Kingdom. The UK ruled 25% of the world's landmass, and this sheep is representing that once great nation. The people of the United Kingdom are still brave. I've seen so many people, they're saying, how can we abandon our age-old, centuries-long ally? How?
Now, of course, the war in the Middle East did not begin last week. We've seen far too many innocent lives lost, women and children among them.
Look at this. What a pathetic creature. He's not going to mention 30,000 people of Iran who were butchered by this brutal Islamic regime. just to appease the people he's sitting with. And let me tell you one thing. He's so stupid. Bombing Iran would actually not have caused any riots in England because most of the Muslims in England are Sunnis. They are not going to die for the Ayatollah or for the Islamic regime, which is Shia. This is how stupid these people are. This is how stupid their advisors are.
We must not lose sight of them and the need for peace, justice, and security in Palestine and Israel.
Ooh, he mentioned Israel. Ooh.
But on Iran, I want to make it clear,
please. It wasn't us. Please don't attack me.
The UK was not involved in the offensive strikes of the US and Israel. And that remains the case.
Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted.
As many of you will know, I never supported the Iraq war in 2003. I'm determined that we learn and follow the lessons today. However, Iran has attacked countries like us, who played no role, and many countries across the Middle East. They have made no distinction. The attacks are indiscriminate.
They have made no distinction between the bad guys, i.e. the US and Israel, and the good guys, us, who had nothing to do with this. Oh, poor us.
And so what we're now doing is allowing our bases to be used for the defensive purpose.
Remember that, defensive purpose. We're still not going to attack them, even though they've attacked our interests, our allies in the region, but we will take defensive positions.
Preventing those attacks and protecting innocent lives. Because that is what we need to do to support our Middle Eastern allies who have asked us for support. And that is how we protect British civilians caught in the crossfire.
You see how he did not mention those 30,000 Iranians killed by this brutal regime. That alone is a moral pretext to join the war against Iran. But he didn't do it. Why? Because he's terrified of these people. He's literally terrified of these people, guys. And the worst part is the stupid prime minister, I'm sorry, and I'm being actually very generous. The stupid prime minister doesn't even realize that these people are on their own side. There is a new left, which is the Greens party. This is the new left, guys. He's right there. This Mutina right there. Look at this. The Islamic regime flags. He's openly supporting them. I don't know what's going on, guys. Our alliances are falling apart because of these elements that we have allowed to fester deep within our societies. I think we are fast reaching an inflection point where we have to decide what to do with these people. But let's just go back to him. Yeah? Let's have a look. He is happy. This is what he wanted. Look at him. Getting cozy up with them.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you, Prime Minister, and I'm so sorry.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
They had to do this, Allahu Akbar now? They had to do this?
Allahu Akbar.
Sorry, I don't want to ruin your ears with that nonsense, but look at him. He's cozying up with them. He's appeasing them. He's hoping it's going to go down well. Look, we didn't play a role in this. And guess what? He's doing that while the people of Iran, still on the third day, are still celebrating the bombing of their country. Have you ever seen anything like this? Have you ever seen anything like this? These people are not chanting death to America or death to Israel because they know that the US and Israel are bombing the Islamic regime. And this shameless prime minister is simping for people who've got nothing to do with Iran, while the people of Iran are standing on rooftops confident that US and Israel missiles will land on the regime's headquarters, not on them. That's why they're standing on the rooftops and openly filming it and celebrating those bombs. I've never seen anything like this, guys. Have you ever seen anything like this? This is why a lot of Muslims are shocked that how come the people of Iran are celebrating the bombing of their own country? How? Well, the answer is very simple. They were sick and tired of this brutal, tyrannical regime. Have a look. This is a 56-second long clip. And check this out.
میدون سپاه رو زد ترکون میدون سپاه رو زد ترکون جنگنده تو خیابون آسمون داره میزنه میدون سپاه رو با ان یکی کرد میدون سپار وطن یکی کرد
USA.
میدون سپار وطن یکی کرد
More. Run, birds, fly away.
باریکلا باریکلا بزن
Look at that. And this shameless prime minister, getting cozy with them, did not mention those 30,000 Iranian civilians who were killed by the brutal regime. Even Mamdani has more courage than him, or at least he's better at hiding his duplicity. The audio is a bit off, but listen to him. At least he's got more courage than Keir Starmer.
I've said before that the Iranian government has engaged in systematic repression of its own people, even killing thousands of Iranians who were seeking to express the most basic forms of dissent earlier this year. It is a brutal government.
At least he said that. Two-tier Keir could not say that. And look at the bravery of these Iranian people. You know the video that I just played and the guy was shouting from the rooftop? Look at the cost of shouting from the rooftops. Here, some Iranian person says that Pahlavi is going to come back, and look what happens. Look what the IRGC or Basiji thugs do. See that? They opened fire in the direction where they thought the chants were coming from. Well, you know what? We are living in very interesting times, and masks are falling off, guys. These guys want to change the world order. The US, by the way, has just canceled all trade with Spain. Well done. Well done, the US. And I think President Trump should tighten the screws with the United Kingdom as well. If he wants to appease Birmingham and East London and Manchester and Bradford at the expense of the UK's centuries-long special relationship with the United States, I know the actual special relationship came much later, but you know, there are deep historical ties between the UK and the US and Australia and Canada. And these prime ministers are ripping those alliances apart. We cannot allow that. And I hope President Trump tightens his screws.